Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be working on my intercooler pump. Back in May when I went to go pick it up from the previous owner, I noticed one thing when I had him turn the car on. While the car was running, I had taken this cap off and I looked inside and I had noticed that no coolant was flowing through this. Now, I know you can run the car without the coolant running through it or without the intercooler pump working, but obviously if it's working, the car's going to run a lot cooler. Here's the old one alongside the new one. As you guys can see, it is a BOSH for both. But before I get started on this, I wanted to catch you guys up on a couple things. So I tried to go to Harbor Freight to get some new jack stands, and obviously because of the recall, they still haven't got any in. So I went in to get my full refund instead of a store credit, and that was an ordeal by itself. They gave me a little bit of a hard time, but after showing them the email that the owner of Harbor Freight would give us a full refund, they gave me cash back. So I ended up going to O'Reilly's and I picked up these 2-ton jack stands from AC Delco. So hopefully these will be better. On my last video I had asked you guys if I should replace my door handle switch or have them replaced and put some black ones on, and nobody responded, so I guess we're not that cool yet, guys, but eventually we'll get there. So what I did was I decided to repaint him. So I went to, I want to say Pep Boys, and I got a can of duplicate color and I tried to match it up as close as I could to the original color, and I resprayed them. So here is the passenger side and here is the driver's side. By no means are they perfect, but I mean, I'll show you guys a picture right now. They look a lot better than what they were before. So that's everything that's happened so far since I've been gone. But let's start marking off a couple things. So first things first, the shift boot, we did it and I forgot to mark it off. Next thing was the door handle interior, done. Next thing will probably be, I want to do tune up, but I mean it kind of goes hand in hand, the tune up and the spark plugs, but we'll get to that later on. But anyways, all right guys, so here is the intercooler pump. Like I showed you guys before, this is the original one right here. God knows when was the last time it worked, and here's the new replacement. So I ordered it on eBay and I got it for just under $100, free shipping. All right, I was gonna I was gonna record me taking off these hose clamps, but I mean, you guys can do that yourselves. And I'm gonna tell you guys, whoever invented these pressure clamps, I hope they stub a toe for the rest of their lives, because those things suck. It was so hard to get off. It took me probably 2 to 3 days. There's not that much room underneath. Well, with the given tools that I have, I did buy a tool for it, but let me tell you guys, it was a piece of junk. So the tool that I bought was this thing, flexible hose clamp. Let me tell you, it is useless. Maybe this brand is. I got it off of Amazon. It's just called a flexible hose clamp. And once you start putting a little bit of pressure on this part, forget it. That thing is not moving. It's really hard. And then the teeth, the ratcheting teeth in there, you can probably see them right there. They would just not grip and they just slip. So this tool right here is a piece of junk. So I had to use the tools that I have already here at home. So I used pliers, pressure pliers, needle nose pliers. I used the ratchet just to take off the clamp on there, and this other stuff right here. So that's what helped me out. I wanted to give you guys an outside visual of how to remove it off of the car. So obviously it's going to be sitting on the engine bay, bolted down. First thing you're going to do is disconnect this electrical connector. It has like 2 little metal pins. You just kind of squeeze together and it just comes slide right out. And the next thing you're going to do is try to figure out how you guys are going to get these pressure clamps off without busting your knuckles up at the room that's given to you. So once you guys get them off, you guys better pray that yours weren't like glued on like mine were. For whatever reason, this one was glued on the hose, and so was this one. So that even made it harder to get off. After that, what you're going to use is I believe it's a 13mm short socket for the top part, and a 13mm long socket at the bottom, or you could use a short one, doesn't really matter, or vice versa, excuse me. So you're gonna use a long socket on top and the short one at the bottom, duh. So after you get it off, you're gonna remove it. But then it has this rubber membrane inside of it, so I guess it keeps it from vibrating, I'm assuming. And just pull it off. Alright, here's just a visual of the bottom side after you remove it. So just to kind of recap what we did, so obviously use your imagination. This side of it would be the pin connector. You just squeeze it, pull it off the pigtail, and then those two bolt holes obviously would be where that bracket's at, holding the membrane and the pump. You take it off, and then I stuffed the side hose right here. See how when I pulled off the clamp, it kind of pulled some of it off, but hopefully I'll use the new clamps that I have, and I'll go further back right there. So there's the one on the side, and here's the one on the top side. I'm gonna do a little time lapse of me putting it back on. Okay, that time knife took a little bit longer than it should have, but I mean, I got it done. So I filled some of it inside to the line where it says to fill with the Dexcool. I also did it for the reservoir. Now let's check and see if it's working. Alright, the COBALT is on jack stand. The car is in neutral. Let's fire it up and let's go check and see if there's any movement inside the intercooler pump reservoir. Sucking it down. There it is. It's working. Now let me just fill it with a little bit more coolant. We should be good. Alright, so I put more coolant in there and a lot of movement, which is good because before when I first got the car, like I said, no coolant was moving around everywhere. So this means is a good sign. That means that the pump is working. So let's just get underneath and check and see for any leaks. Now that right there, that was for me just putting in some coolant in the reservoir, but let's check over here on the underside. Alright, everything looks pretty good. Next thing to do is probably do an oil change and then we'll take it out for another drive. Okay, guys, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.